Stay for me. Can you say something? Take me away, baby.
The D4D case just took a massive turn that has the entire music industry shaking. And what authorities discovered during their house search is sending shockwaves through social media right now. This isn't just another celebrity controversy. This is a full-scale investigation that could completely change everything we thought we knew about one of music's rising stars. The evidence they found, the timing of this search, and what it means for D4VD's career has everyone from fans to industry insiders in absolute chaos. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this house search represents the biggest development in the D4VD case yet, and why the implications could reach far beyond just one artist. The shocking house search. Let's break down exactly what went down during this explosive house search that has everyone talking. Early this morning, authorities executed a search warrant at D4VD's residence in what sources are calling the most significant development in the ongoing case. The search wasn't a quick in-and-out operation. Reports indicate that investigators spent hours combing through the property, removing boxes of evidence, electronic devices, and documents that could be crucial to their investigation. Neighbors described seeing multiple law enforcement vehicles, crime scene investigators, and what appeared to be federal agents involved in the operation. What makes this search particularly significant is the timing. This comes right after weeks of mounting speculation, conflicting reports, and growing pressure from multiple directions. The fact that authorities felt they had enough evidence to justify a full house search suggests this case is far more serious than many people initially realized. Social media immediately exploded with videos from neighbors, photos of law enforcement vehicles, and speculation about what investigators might have been looking for. The hashtags related to the D4VD case started trending worldwide within hours of news breaking about the search. What we know so far. While many details about the search remain confidential due to the ongoing investigation, several key pieces of information have emerged that paint a troubling picture of where this case might be heading. First, the search warrant was reportedly related to allegations that have been circulating for weeks, but were previously unsubstantiated. The fact that authorities now had enough evidence to justify searching D4VD's home suggests they've uncovered information that supports these serious accusations. Second, multiple sources are confirming that electronic devices seized during the search include phones, computers, and recording equipment that could contain crucial evidence. In today's digital age, these devices often hold the key to understanding what really happened in controversial cases like this one. Third, the involvement of what appeared to be federal agents suggests this case may have implications beyond local jurisdiction. This elevation to federal level indicates the seriousness of the allegations and the potential scope of the investigation. What's particularly disturbing is that sources familiar with the case are describing the evidence collected during the search as significant and potentially game-changing. While we don't know specifics yet, the language being used by investigators suggests they found exactly what they were looking for. The industry response. The music industry's response to news of the house search has been swift and telling. Record labels, streaming platforms, and business partners are all reportedly reassessing their relationships with D4VD pending the outcome of this investigation. Several major music festivals have already begun quietly removing D4VD from their lineups, though most are citing scheduling conflicts rather than directly addressing the ongoing legal situation. This kind of industry distancing typically indicates that executives have access to information that hasn't been made public yet. Fellow artists have been notably silent about the situation, with many who previously collaborated with or supported D4VD now avoiding any mention of the controversy. This industry-wide silence is often a telling sign that people in the know are preparing for worse news to come. Streaming numbers for D4VD's music have seen dramatic fluctuations, with some fans showing support through increased plays while others are actively avoiding the artist's content. The polarized response reflects the divided opinions about guilt, innocence, and accountability in celebrity cases. The fan divide. Perhaps the most explosive aspect of this house search development has been how it's divided D4VD's fan base into warring factions with completely different interpretations of what's happening. One group of fans is doubling down on their support, claiming the house search is part of a larger conspiracy to destroy a successful young artist. They're sharing theories about industry politics, jealous competitors, and biased media coverage designed to bring D4VD down unfairly. The opposing faction is pointing to the house search as proof that the allegations were serious enough to warrant law enforcement action. They're arguing that authorities wouldn't have obtained a search warrant without substantial evidence supporting the accusations. This divide has created some of the most intense fan wars we've seen in recent memory. Social media platforms are becoming battlegrounds where supporters and critics engage in heated arguments, share conflicting information.
Do I love you?
And attack each other's credibility and character. Legal implications. From a legal perspective, this house search represents a critical escalation that could determine the entire trajectory of the D4VD case. Search warrants require probable cause, meaning authorities had to convince a judge they had reasonable grounds to believe evidence of criminal activity would be found at the residence. The scope and duration of the search suggest investigators were looking for specific evidence related to serious allegations. The involvement of multiple agencies and the careful documentation of seized items indicates this is being treated as a major criminal investigation rather than a minor controversy. Legal experts following the case are noting that house searches often represent a turning point where cases either collapse due to lack of evidence or accelerate rapidly toward formal charges. The fact that authorities felt confident enough to take this step suggests they believe they have a strong foundation for their investigation. What happens next could depend entirely on what analysis of the seized evidence reveals. If investigators found what they were looking for, we could see formal charges filed relatively quickly. If the search didn't yield significant evidence, the case might lose momentum. The broader impact. This house search is already having ripple effects that extend far beyond just D4VD's personal situation. The case is becoming a lightning rod for larger conversations about accountability in the music industry, the power of social media in shaping public opinion, and how allegations should be handled before legal proceedings are complete. Industry insiders are watching closely to see how this case might influence future handling of similar situations. The speed at which business relationships dissolved and opportunities disappeared is creating new precedents for how the entertainment world responds to serious allegations. What comes next? As this massive development continues to unfold, several key questions remain unanswered. What specific evidence did investigators find during the house search? How will this discovery affect the timeline of potential formal charges? Will D4VD's legal team be able to challenge the search or the evidence collected? The coming weeks will likely be crucial in determining whether this house search marks the beginning of the end for D4VD's career, or if there are still ways to recover from this devastating development.